Here's the solutions to number 5 on the green test, the true-false section. Part A, the fourth derivative of cosine is cosine. If you happen to know this ends up being true, the way we can show it is just by taking 4 derivatives. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. The derivative of negative sine is negative cosine. The derivative of negative cosine is negative sine. That is positive sine. And finally, the fourth derivative here, the derivative of sine, is cosine. So sure enough, this is true. Part B, if two functions have the same derivative everywhere, then they must be the same function. This is false. This is just saying they have the same slope, but they're not necessarily the same function. One might be the other function just shifted up a little bit. For example, f of x could be x squared, and g of x could be x squared plus 1. Same derivative, same slope everywhere, but they're different functions. Part C, if f prime of 3 equals 0, then the tangent line to f at x equals 3 is horizontal. This is true. The derivative describes the tangent line to a graph. At 3 here means we're at when x equals 3. Equals 0 means the slope is 0, which is the same as horizontal. Part D. This big mess equals 4x cubed. You can expand things all out and simplify, and you will in fact get this answer, but a quicker way to do it is to recognize that what we have right here is the difference quotient. And specifically, it's the difference quotient when f of x equals x to the fourth. So what this limit will be equal to is the derivative of this function, which in fact is 4x cubed. So this guy is true also. Part E, this mess of a limit is undefined. This is false. There's a few ways to show that this is defined. I think the easiest way is to view this as a definition of the derivative problem. What we really have is f of x up here, and if a equals 2, this is f of 2, x minus a, the limit as x approaches a. It's the definition of the derivative of this function, so this is not undefined. It is going to be f prime of 2, which if you work it out will be equal to 12, I believe. Part F, the definition of the derivative of f at a point A is this thing. Close, not quite right. This limit right here should be the limit as x approaches a. Saying the limit as h approaches 0 doesn't really make sense here. There's no h's over here that can approach 0. So this right here is false. This guy here, the derivative of this mess is this. You could actually figure out what this derivative is if you want. It might take you a little while, but maybe a better way is, notice that we're going to use the product rule here, right? We have the derivative of something times the derivative of something. So we're going to have something plus something else. If you kind of look at what those things are, nothing's going to be 0, so it's certainly not going to be one term like this. So this right here is false. You could also work it all out and figure out that that's false, but thought this would save a little time. And finally, this derivative equals this. Bit of a trick question here. This is also false. E to the fourth is just a constant, right? So the derivative of a constant times x is just that constant. So actually this derivative equals e to the fourth, not e to the fourth plus x e to the fourth. So there's the true-false section for the green test.